So I get asked all the time how much food I grow every year in my family rise garden. And honestly, up until this point, I haven't been able to answer it because I never actually tracked it and grew with the intention to really show how much is possible. But that is exactly what I'm going to do this year. And I am going to track every single leaf and fruit and edible thing that comes out of this garden so we can get the most accurate answer to that question of how much you can grow in a two-tier family rise garden. I created a workbook that I'm going to use over this year, and if you guys want to use it or check it out yourselves, you can see it in the description below. So this is going to be the first video in a series of videos. Okay, so that is enough talking. We need to get to planting. So the garden is all clean. I have started to lay things out kind of where I'm planning to put them. One of the things I'm planning to do are these red baron bunching chives. I am also planning to do some of these strawberries from Renee's garden. I'll put the link down below. And I like alpine strawberries for growing hydroponically because they don't send out runners the way regular strawberries do, so they kind of just stay in one bunch. They give you very tiny strawberries, but I just find the flavor is a lot more intense. So I was running out of covers, so I have this set up with the 8-hole tray, and all the other trays are the 4 holes everywhere down there. I'm going to be planting some more of this Antoinette lettuce. I really love it. I have it in my personal rise garden. So going to be trying some of this Astro arugula, and then we have the butter crunch lettuce. And then the last one in this section is we have the cilantro. I typically don't grow cilantro on the top level because it can get pretty big and bushy, but I'm going to try and keep it pruned and keep short things up top with all of my greenery and then big fruiting plants down below. I'm also planning on doing some of this forest green parsley, and then we have some rosemary. We have the mini Siam tomato. These ones only grow about 9 inches tall. I normally would be doing my favorite micro hat tomato, but I wanted to give these guys a try. These are a red one. I have some of the seedless pods that I love, and I'm going to be trying to grow some carrots in here. I grew these really well out in my green stock and harvested those in December. I thought I would give them a try hydroponically. So down here I'm going to be putting in some of the patio pea pride. Now this is just because I'm hoping to get a quick harvest off of these, and then I'm going to have in the back, I'm going to have a jalapeno pepper, so that will be there for a long time. And then in the front, I'm going to try this Mamba sweet red pepper. So kind of the idea down here is have the big things that are going to be in here for a long time. And if I can, in the alternate spaces, squeeze in a couple of quicker crops so I can still get another harvest. At the back, I'm going to be doing this cucumber. They don't even have this on the site anymore. This is just one I had from before. So I'm going to get that going in the back. Now, if you wanted to do a cucumber, just make sure that you're going to go and get a self-pollinating. So it just makes your life a lot easier. You don't have to worry about trying to pollinate them manually, which you could if you wanted. I have grown melons hydroponically and I had to hand pollinate them all. I'll put a link up above to that video. I was growing my favorite Charentaise melon. So it is possible. So the cucumber will hopefully be growing up that trellis in the back. And then to keep that company, I have some of these little Bing tomatoes. Not seeing these on the site anymore, but I still had them. I also have some of the fern leaf dill. Dill can get really tall, so that's why I'm putting it down the bottom. We have a tango celery. So over here, I'm going to try some of the bright light Swiss chard. We also have the snackable red pepper. And then one I'm really excited about, and it might be a horrible mistake doing it with everything else, is a baby cauliflower. But we will see how it does. That is everything we are going to be growing in the first round. So now, because I am going to be growing this over an entire year, that stuff that I'm planting now is probably, well, the peppers maybe, but other than that, there's probably not still going to be there towards the end of the year. In my worksheet, I've planned it out so you can do month over month. So at the top, it's got a place where you can circle which month it is. It's got the layout. You can put in what is on each tier. Then there's a call out for what other seeds you need to be starting, what worked well, what didn't, and if there are any pests and diseases you dealt with and how you dealt with them. This is going to help you plan out for the entire year. So you can just copy the pages as you need them. And I've done them with different layouts. So that one has the 8 holes at the front, which is what I am using. Now, you can track all of this in the app for where things are currently, but I wanted to make something that would help me, like, so I can plan ahead and then make sure that I'm starting plants at the right time. So as soon as something comes out, I have another plant ready to go in to continue that harvest. So if you guys want to see more in depth of what is in my planner, I will put that at the end, because right now we need to do the planting, or you can just go and download it below. What I probably should be doing is using my nurseries. I'm so excited to actually get these. I will be using these after I do the initial planting, because I'm starting this brand new, so I'm just going to pop everything in here. Now, one of the benefits of this is you have the humidity dome on it, so that is supposed to help with the germination. The nice thing about these nurseries is they can tuck in right there. I've had my garden so long that I have the original chicken rotisserie container nurseries from the beginning, so I much prefer this new style. They're just sleeker on the little pods. It's going to tell you how many days it sprouts in, and that's just an average. So I think for these ones, the red bunching chives, move my book. I was just using that to cover the holes because I ran out of hole covers. Make sure you don't leave holes open like this or like that once you have planted it and have all the nutrients in, because anytime you have water, nutrients, and light, which we have all three in a hydroponic environment, you run the risk of having algae. So you want to just keep everything covered using the hole covers or anything just to keep the light out as much as you can. I'm going to put the bunching chives towards the back. I'm going to do 2 of those to start. I hope I have enough baskets. So we'll do 1 more. So in the center, there's a little donut. You want to just poke a hole. I'm just going to go grab something so that the light can get to the seeds and we can start germinating. So I like to just kind of go around the outside and kind of pull it out of the way. And we'll do that here. We have the first things planted, 2 of the red bunching chives. So I'm going to do 2 of the sorrel radish in the front. So I also have some of the sorrel radish in the personal rise garden, and I am finding they're stretching a little bit. So that's why I wanted to put them up top, because it's the shortest grow height, hoping that they would not stretch so much, but we will see how they do. I'll show you guys kind of what it's doing in the personal. So this one here, it's kind of getting quite tall. We'll see how it develops a bulb. So I think we'll put 2 of those in. So you can see in there, there's multiple seeds. I'm not going to thin these. I'm not going to thin the onions either. I actually found the most success with radishes multi-sowing them even outside. So I like the fact that there's lots of seeds in there, and we will see what we will do. I'm going to multi-sow the carrots as well. Now I want to get in some of the alpine strawberries. So I'm going to do 1 pineapple one and 1 mignonette, and I'm going to need the seedless pods for that. So that is how the seedless pods come. They don't have the foil on top, wish they did, but I will get those covered with something because I do not want to end up with the algae in there. So the strawberry seeds are really tiny. I'm going to put a few in. These are the pineapple ones, and we'll see how they do. So they're going to go in that guy. Now we'll pop in some of the mignonettes. And I don't know if you can see, but they are already soaking up the moisture. Oops, and I got a seed on the edge there. It was interesting, the pineapple seeds were so much lighter than the mignonettes. Hopefully they grow really well. The pineapple ones to the back to give it more space, and then I just need to get another hole cover for there. I just picked up these trays at my dollar store. They're the same ones I'm using to organize all my seeds for the planting outside. I'm really liking them. Next in goes the Astro arugula. This one grows really quickly. 5 days to sprout, 15 days to harvest approximately. So I'll take this and we'll pop that over there, throw in a basket, and now I need another hand to open this. Astro arugula going in. I'll just do 1 of those. Next is the butter crunch lettuce, and this has to be my favorite lettuce. Like, I like the Antoinette, but if I am only eating 1 lettuce for the rest of my life, you can bet for sure it's going to be butter crunch. That's one thing I have to say about Rise. They're always innovating and changing. Personally, I love that. So this was a lot easier to open than the last one I was struggling with, especially when you're using 1 hand. That in there. So next we have the cilantro, and you are either team cilantro or you are not. I am team cilantro, and I love this stuff. Apparently it's actually genetic. If you don't like the cilantro, I think it tastes like soap because there's saponins in it. And push the cilantro in there. Antoinette lettuce. So now I need to open up all these foils to make sure that these guys can grow. I never used to thin the lettuce, even though it does say to thin the lettuce. And then just recently, I thinned the lettuce, and let me tell you guys, it makes a huge difference. So if you're one of those people like me that was like, I'm probably gonna get more if I don't thin it, no, start thinning it. It'll make a big difference. So one thing to mention about the cilantro, you can see in there, there's the seeds. They're very big. That pod actually has 2 seeds in it. So if you have trouble growing cilantro, you might want to try taking those out and gently cracking them open, and it should help your germination, which is exactly what I'm going to do right now. As you guys can see, when I dumped it out, one of them was already cracked, but there's the one big one. So I'm just going to crack it, and then I'm going to dump it back into the pod. Hard to show you guys. All I do is I just put it between my fingers and gently push on it, and then it makes a little cracking noise. And then now we have 3 pods. So we're almost done the top level. I am going to get some of these carrots in, and I'm going to multi-sow these. I'm going to try 4 in case some don't germinate. One of the problems with germinating carrots is they need to be kept moist the whole time, which shouldn't be an issue when we're growing them hydroponically. I'd like to have 3 of these in here. We'll see how they do. So the carrot seeds are pretty tiny, and I'm just going to dump those in. I think I actually have 5, but who's counting? Obviously not me. All right, so up here, this one will be the mini siam. The rosemary will be at the back. And then at the very back, we will put the parsley. Tried to think about what was the tallest and what was going to be there the longest. The rosemary can get quite woody, so I'm going to leave that there for a long time. Parsley can grow for a long time too. So you know what? I'm actually going to switch those. I'll put the parsley there and the rosemary at the back now that we're talking about it. So now to get this guy in. Struggling, guys. Doing this with one hand is a skill, which I do not possess. And the last one on this level is the rosemary. So the top level is all planted. I have to get some covers for those 3 seedless pods. So I was just about to go downstairs and get the aluminum foil to cover up those seedless pods. And then I remembered I had these. I had one of my subscribers reach out, and they make these on their 3D printer, and they sent them to me. So they go like this, and you can put them around your pods where you don't have any foil, all different sizes. As the plant grows, you can get bigger and bigger ones. They also made some covers. I'll put the link to the Etsy shop below, but I'm going to get to test these guys out. So I'm pretty excited, and that is going to work a lot better than just some ugly aluminum foil. Or I think it will anyways. They just click on like that. As it grows, you just keep using bigger and bigger ones. So now we need to tackle the bottom level. So I had been planning to grow this snackable red pepper, but because I'm going to be doing the Mamba sweet anyways, I was thinking for a bit of variety, I would try out the Fresh Bite orange pepper instead. So I mentioned that the cucumber is going to grow on the trellis. That will be in the back one there. But I also have my stands that I'm going to be using to give the peppers some support. It can also be good for cilantro or some of those bigger things. I have the 3 of them, so I'm going to prioritize my peppers. All we're going to do is when we put in the basket, these are going to slide right underneath, and then they will be there to give some support. Then you can use the little ties to basically clip onto there and to go around the plant so that you can support it as it grows. The next thing we need to get in is this jalapeno. Love jalapenos. It's the one hot pepper that I use constantly. The new packages come with more handy hints about each of the varieties. So on this one, it's calling out that we need to thin it, prune it, and pollinate it. So while peppers are self-pollinating, I do like to give mine a shake, or you could also use a paintbrush and go flower to flower, because that's going to help increase the amount of fruit that's set, even though they will do it on their own if you don't do anything. But if you want more, then it's good to help out. Then I'm going to do another pepper in the front. This one will be the sweet Mamba pepper. Pretty excited to try these ones out. While I love the jalapenos, I also love a sweet pepper. The support in place. Now, if anyone's wondering about this guy, I've had my unit for so long. They used to come with the EC pH meters. Now you can use the AI that is in the app in order to help you know how much nutrients to put in. I'm also going to put in one of the patio pea prides here. It's going to stay pretty small, and that way by planting the pea, because it's only 36 days to harvest, which it calls out on the pod, I'm going to be able to be harvesting from that spot before the peppers get too big, and they're going to be 93 days minimum. I can get other harvests going in between before those plants get too big. I'm going to be doing that a lot on the lower level because that's where my bigger plants are, and I want to squeeze in whatever I can to get a little bit more food out. Now for the cucumber, this one, like I said, they don't even have this on the site anymore. So this actually shows how much they have innovated. So this was the original what happened. So they had the sticker on the whole thing. So poking a hole in the middle was really hard. Then they started changing the seeds, like the ones I was showing a second ago, where they actually have like the hole in the center where it's just the foil and you can actually punch through that. So these guys are always seeing what works, pivoting, changing, and honestly for me, I just love that. I'm gonna get this guy in here and then I'm gonna have to peel off the sticker. And these are a bit older seeds, but they should germinate. Celery is gonna go in the back. So celery is one of those things that I like to grow better hydroponically just because I have the one plant and it's growing year round. So it seems like every recipe just calls for like 1 or 2 stalks of celery. And then what do you do with the rest of it? Usually I forget it in the fridge and then it goes floppy. So this was a much better thing for me, so I'm not wasting anything. Next we are moving on to the dill. Now dill is something I do grow outdoors as well. It brings in so many pollinators. The swallowtail caterpillars love it, so I do plant it outside, but it's one of the herbs that I use quite a bit, so I do like to grow it indoors hydroponically as well. And hopefully in just 45 days, I will have some dill. Dill is actually another one that could probably benefit from the stands because it does get pretty big and unruly. Like I said, I only have 3 and the peppers are going to take priority. Another one of those older pods, the little Bing tomatoes, I don't think they have them anymore. I'm going to peel off this sticker and we will give these guys a chance at a good life in this garden. No, I'm so glad they changed how they're doing the pods. Pop that guy in. I had one of these variety packs and I have just taken out the little Bings from here, the Swiss chard bright lights as well. So that's this one here, again one of those older packs. So we'll see how this sticker comes off. That one's good. And pop that in here. Get that in with its sticker on it. So in the front here we'll do this Fresh Bites orange pepper. So in there, we'll pop it in, give him the support. And then last but not least, we have this baby cauliflower. I am so excited to see how this grows. I'm taking a chance having the other stuff in the front. I'm hoping it will go well. I did grow a cauliflower outside, but I had such trouble with pests in it. So I'm really hoping that doing it inside will avoid that. And cauliflower is not something I use all the time. So I'm hoping this baby cauliflower will just be okay. And we'll see how quickly it grows and how quick I can harvest. But I am excited about this. And then we will give him the space at the back. So that is everything planted. Now I just need to go and put everything into my worksheet so that I can start tracking how things are growing. So I have my workbook, and then here I have started to, I marked off where I don't have anything planted. I also put a line through, started noting down everything that I have in. This is January in the base tier, and then I did the same for the top tier, noting of course that I started much too late, but that's okay. Hopefully this is helpful and I can answer the question of how much I've actually grown in this rise garden after 365 days. And if you guys want to grab this, it is down in the description below.